Welcome to Hidden Costs. 69 million people walk through these famous doors every single day, searching for cheap, familiar food. We are always told they're simply there for the world-famous fries and a quick, convenient meal on the go. But if you think this giant corporation is actually in the food business, you have fallen for the greatest corporate trick in modern history. They are not truly flipping hot burgers in those kitchens. They are silently collecting the most valuable commercial land across the globe. Former chief executive Harry Sonneborn once made a shocking private confession that completely redefined the entire purpose of their expanding empire. He stated clearly that they are not technically in the food business at all. They are actually in the real estate business. The only reason they sell 15-cent hamburgers is because those cheap meals are the greatest producer of steady daily revenue to pay the mortgage. That daily revenue is exactly what allows their trapped tenants to consistently pay them massive amounts of rent every single month. This is the ultimate corporate landlord hiding right inside the kitchen, a brilliant financial strategy completely disguised as a friendly restaurant. To understand this massive global deception, we absolutely must travel back to a much simpler time in early American business history. In 1948, the original Founding Brothers created an absolute masterpiece of kitchen efficiency, a revolutionary 30-second food assembly line. Their original vision was focused entirely on serving their immediate community with high speed, low cost, and consistent quality. But their humble family business lacked the capital structure to scale across the country, which is exactly when a struggling salesman named Ray Kroc appeared. Kroc did not just want to build a successful restaurant, he obsessively wanted to create an unstoppable nationwide fast food system. However, during those early years of rapid expansion, Kroc was bleeding cash heavily because the overhead costs were crushing his slim margins. His tiny royalty fee, a mere fraction of a percent, was basically a financial rounding error that couldn't cover the mounting interest on his loans. He quickly became the desperate king of a mountain of corporate debt, struggling to survive until he met a financial genius named Harry Sonneborn. Sonneborn realized that the real profit wasn't in the mustard or the meat, but in the dirt and the concrete beneath the golden arches. The new Sonneborn financial model changed everything. It shifted the focus from selling burgers to acquiring and controlling prime real estate. The corporation would buy the prime land, build the actual store, and then aggressively lease it back to the hopeful local franchisee. They charged a massive markup on this rent, sometimes 30% higher than market rates, guaranteeing profits before a single burger was sold. This structure allowed the company to bypass the volatility of the meat market and focus on the stability of the property market. By 1961, Ray Kroc bought the original brothers out for roughly $2.7 million in cold hard cash. He did not just take their famous family name, he ruthlessly opened a brand new store right across the street from their original location. This aggressive corporate move ultimately drove the Founding Brothers straight into devastating bankruptcy, proving the cold reality of the new empire. In this expanding system, there is absolutely no room for equal partners. There is only room for highly profitable, easily replaceable tenants. So why do we keep returning to these places, even when we know the health costs and the corporate secrets?
Psychologists call this powerful behavioral phenomenon cognitive anchoring, and it works incredibly well in every urban environment. The corporation has spent billions making those glowing golden arches a deeply ingrained psychological landmark inside our modern subconscious. For a young child, the primary colors and plastic shapes represent a playground. For a stressed adult, they represent a safe, predictable choice. These carefully designed locations trigger the exact same comfort zones inside our brains as the feeling of returning to our own childhood homes. This is neuromarketing at a global scale, where the smell of specialized fat molecules is engineered to bypass your logical decision-making. But they also sell a powerful illusion of the classic American dream directly to the ambitious franchisee who genuinely wants to run a business. The glossy corporate brochure boldly tells you to be your own boss and achieve financial independence through their proven system. But the hidden psychological and financial cost of this strict franchise agreement is incredibly heavy for the operator. You are not actually a true boss. You are a glorified manager operating a highly stressful, non-stop corporate debt repayment machine. You personally take on all the daily financial risks, handle the constant staffing crises, and deal with angry customers every single day. You are the one who pays out of pocket for the famously broken ice cream machines and the endless required modern store upgrades. The corporation dictates every detail, from the height of the counters to the exact temperature of the fryers, leaving zero room for autonomy. Meanwhile, the corporate office takes their massive guaranteed cut of the revenue before you have a chance to pay your hardworking staff. The true hidden cost here is the very soul of independent entrepreneurship traded away for a strict, unbending corporate operations manual. Let us take a deep look at the shocking reality of their modern financial audit through the lens of a real estate investment trust. This massive corporation now controls over 45,000 prime locations worldwide, making them a dominating force in global property markets. They currently own roughly 55% of the actual land and an astounding 80% of the physical buildings in their system. While a normal business makes money by selling a product for a margin, this corporation thrives on occupancy fees and lease escalations. In recent years, franchised revenues hit staggering multi-billion-dollar heights, with a massive portion of that wealth being strictly collected rent. They have mastered a counter-cyclical strategy. When the global economy crashes, people flock to cheap food, keeping the cash flow steady. And when the global economy booms, their massive commercial real estate portfolio values soar to unprecedented heights, increasing their balance sheet. They strategically place their glowing buildings at the crucial entry and exit points of every major growing suburb and busy urban center. They function as the ultimate unavoidable toll booth of modern life, dictating exactly how our busy cities breathe and expand. The corporation honestly does not care if you actually enjoy eating their newest experimental plant-based burger or promotional nuggets. They only care that you had to drive your car directly past their highly valuable piece of commercial land just to get to your office or home. Every time you purchase a cheap value meal, you are making a tiny micropayment toward a multi-billion-dollar property portfolio. This is a masterclass in modern urban sociology. They do not just buy empty dirt, they actively purchase and control human behavioral hubs. By controlling these vital physical intersections, they subtly influence where new local roads are built and how future neighborhood traffic flows. The local franchise owner is essentially a modern-day serf, working the valuable land to continuously pay tribute to a distant corporate king. This creates a deeply unbalanced dynamic where the person flipping the burgers carries the burden, while the boardroom quietly collects the rent. The bright, plastic-looking aesthetic of the restaurants perfectly hides the dark, shadowy corporate reality of how this empire actually operates. Behind those colorful playground slides lies a cold, calculating real estate trust that dominates the global commercial property market. Every single physical location is a carefully calculated data point in a massive global matrix of property acquisition and wealth generation. They have successfully transformed the simple act of eating a hamburger into a highly efficient corporate mechanism for extracting land value. This brilliant strategy effectively insulates the parent company from the unpredictable daily chaos of running a complicated food service business. If a specific restaurant location fails to sell enough food, the corporate office still owns the highly valuable underlying commercial property beneath it. They can simply evict the struggling franchise owner and immediately lease that exact same prime corner lot to another eager, hopeful dreamer. It is a completely risk-free financial loop for the executives, watching the global real estate appreciate while others do the heavy lifting. We have essentially allowed a single powerful fast food corporation to become one of the biggest and most influential private landlords on Earth. Their vast property holdings rival those of entire sovereign nations, giving them unprecedented economic power and deep political influence.
This immense hidden power allows them to shape local zoning laws and heavily influence crucial urban development plans in major cities. The glowing golden arches are not just a beacon for travelers. They are a dominant symbol of aggressive corporate territorial conquest. Every new store opening is basically planting a corporate flag on freshly acquired territory, expanding their empire piece by piece. So how do we, as everyday consumers, break free from this hidden system and stop paying this invisible corporate landlord tax? The solution begins with intentionality, deciding where you consciously stop your car and spend your hard-earned money during the day. The first essential step is to actively break the deeply ingrained psychological reflex that automatically pulls your vehicle toward those glowing arches. You can use your phone to search for worker-owned cooperatives or independent family restaurants located right inside your own neighborhood. When you choose to buy a burger from a genuine local shop, that money actually stays firmly rooted within your own local economy. Your purchase directly helps pay for a hard-working neighbor's mortgage rather than funding another glass skyscraper for distant executives. The second step is to demand financial transparency and support legislation that protects vulnerable local franchise business owners from predatory terms. We must stand against rent traps that unfairly squeeze the profit out of hard-working local small business operators who take all the risks. European regulators are already beginning to investigate these questionable leasing practices, and it is time the rest of the world followed suit. We need laws that enforce fair commercial lease agreements and prevent massive corporations from exploiting their own dedicated partners. The third and most important step is to consciously take back your precious time and protect your personal health from these corporate giants. The absolute biggest hidden cost of modern fast food is not just the actual money leaving your wallet at the busy drive-thru. It is the long-term physical health and valuable personal time that we sacrifice every single day for the mere illusion of convenience. Cooking a high-quality meal at home offers a much deeper and truer lasting satisfaction than any mass-produced corporate product ever could. You do not need bright neon signs or artificial ingredients to experience genuine joy and connection around a warm dinner table. By choosing locally sourced food, you actively rebel against a machine that views you only as a walking wallet and a data point. Every home-cooked meal is a tiny but powerful victory against the aggressive expansion of these global commercial real estate mega empires. It is a choice to prioritize authentic human connection and physical well-being over industrialized consumption and corporate property expansion. The next time you see those golden arches glowing against the dark night sky, remember, you are staring at a real estate giant in disguise. Every dollar you spend is a crucial vote for the type of future you want to live in, so make your daily choices incredibly count.